So paper one, you are having all these text types. You're familiar with advertisement, brochures, leaflets. Okay, these three more or less the same thing: advertisements, brochures, leaflets. Uh, Advertisement is such that it is shorter than the leaflet. Leaflet is more detailed, and advertisement, you are basically, you are selling your product, right? So if you know the basics of these text types, then you can do justice in writing these things. First, the one who is publishing the newspaper, these are the editorial body there, editors there, means the whole group of people who is publishing that newspaper. So that's why this is how you're shaping the minds of public through these editorials. Why? When you publish these editorials, people read. For example, you are writing about the politics, you're writing something serious from the society. So you are shaping public's mindset. So you are telling this is right and this is wrong. So when somebody so for example, through editorials, you are grabbing like-minded people. So when the like-minded people read such editorials, you start thinking the same way. And then this is how you're shaping their minds. So if you are very concerned about the environment, you are telling the same thing. You're telling your opinions to others. You're not asking opinion from others. You are giving your opinion to others. This is editorials. And if I read your editorial and I like your editorial and I like your point of view, I will share my comments with you as well. I will share my feedbacks. Then then the text type comes letter to the editors. Then I write, after reading your article, after reading your editorial, I write a letter to the editor that these things I like, but these things I am not convinced. I am not, I disagree. So I want to add my opinion as well. I have three different types of objectives. First is read, then write, and analyze. So remember, when you understand, definitely when you read, you understand things. And then when you understand, can a student explain ideas or concepts? When you read, you understand. You understand what's going on there. You understand similes used. You understand when you're reading the paper, you understand there are some connectives used. You understand there are questions used. What kind of questions you can, WH questions or rhetorical questions. You can understand what you are reading. Applying means when you write, when they ask you to change one form into the next form, one text type into a next text type, you apply the same knowledge which you understood. You apply, and can the students use information in a new way? New way is the same thing. For example, I give you a leaflet and I ask you to change this leaflet into an editorial. Then you change it. Means you're talking about the same thing in a different way. So this is how they would check that, can you apply the same knowledge there? Third thing they will be looking at, analyzing. So just remember these main basic ideas, that what are they looking at in your responses. Third thing is analyzing. And this is from the Bloom's taxonomy, go from the simpler to the complex one. Analyzing means that can the student distinguish between the different parts? Up now you are given two different text types, right? For example, one is the diary entry and the other one is the article. So they will be looking that you can be able to compare and contrast. For compare, analyze, and this takes 60%, means they will look at this analyzing objective, 60% weightage is there. Means most important is this thing, analyzing. Right, the knowledge, you have prepared one text type, and now you are comparing and contrast. What you are comparing and contrast, you are comparing the audience, you're comparing the purpose, you're comparing the language used there, the style of writing. So this is how you're telling your examiner that I am good at this. I know different text type, I have used it, and now I can analyze as well. So analysis, look at the holistic view of this. Don't look for the chunks, don't go for the chunks. Look at the holistic view. Holistic view means as a whole. Analyzing means when you have developed one text type and one text type is already given to you, you are basically having your analysis there on different items. So analysis asks you to compare and contrast. If it is totally different thing you have formed, then you are telling that why it is different. You are making comparison with a contrast form. You use discourse markers. Such discourse markers like if you're comparing similarities, you say similarly, in addition to, and then contrast. When you're contrasting, it means you're using nevertheless, however, such kind of connectives you will be using in your responses. So this is how you are telling as a whole to the examiner that you know this stuff, how to analyze. One thing you've created, one thing already given, and now you can analyze in different ways. Given different text types, you're going to read a lot there in exam. A2 is writing. Definitely you're applying something, 10% there. This is analysis. AO3, assessment objective, third one, say analysis. This is 60% there. Means the most go with this. So you must be familiar with this assessment objective, this one. Making you more understand, giving you more clarity through this. Okay, this is assessment objective. There are 5 assessment objectives, but I have only given you 3. Why? Because your exam paper, your paper 1 needs only 3. 4 and 5 needed by A2 students, right? First one is read and demonstrate understanding a wide variety of text. I told you which wide variety of text, the same one. All text types you must be familiar with. You will need to show the examiner that you have developed your reading skills and techniques using the text provided in the exam paper. The examiner will be looking at your knowledge and understanding of the linguistic and literary features, as well as your ideas about the ways audience, purpose, style, and context influence the meaning of text. For example, if any text type given to you, like keep leaflet in mind, you must be knowing the audience. You must be preparing the purpose first. Style means the way you are writing that response. And the context. Context means can be different things. For example, the social context, anything. For example, figurative language, descriptive language you are using. These linguistic and literary features they will be looking at. Write effectively, creatively, accurately, appropriately for a range of audience and purposes. The same thing again. If you know the audience purpose, you are writing for different audience and purpose. For A2, examiner will be looking at your skills and techniques in writing, including how your writing is appropriate for the audience, purpose, and form. Specified in the question on the exam paper. You will need to write in structured way, expressing your ideas accurately, clearly, using linguistic, the same thing again coming up. Means when whatever you read, you write the same way. Analyze. This is important. Here you need, because 60% for this assessment objective. Here you need to be able to analyze and compare the text presented in exam paper. The examiner will be looking at how you choose features from the text to use as evidence for your ideas on the form, structure, and language. Comparisons you may make, and the ways in which you bring your ideas together. One more thing. When you write a text type, for example, they have given you article and you are writing diary format, right? So sometimes it happens that you are not going with the same key conventions. And after writing, when you are analyzing, when you are comparing reflective commentary, you remember something I missed. What you do, you should not go back and just have some cuttings and write the format again. What you do, you in your reflective commentary, you can explain that it could have been better as well. So what advantage you will be getting by this? You are telling your examiner that you know where you went wrong. You are telling your examiner that this thing I realized now. And now I feel, because through your reflective commentary, your examiner will come to know that you know a lot about your writing. That while making up your reflective commentary, you come to know that something you went wrong. And now you can't go back and you're telling in the reflective commentary that this could have been improved by this. Reflective commentary, when you are having your own reflection, means you have produced something and you are reflecting on your own thoughts. So you have first person, that is you use I there, reflective commentary. Your structure, when you talk about the structure, you are looking at your sentence structure. You're not only telling the examiner that I have used simpler sentences here, they have used complex sentences there. You are discussing that use of simple sentences, what function it is doing, what function is done by that kind of element. Keep this thing in mind. that why have you used such thing? This is your reflective commentary. And when you are making comparisons, remember, comparison does not only mean that the similarities. Comparisons means differences as well. And when you're using similarities and differences, you use the same connective, same discourse markers there. Okay. Anything right now from this slide if you want to ask? Or it's all okay?
All okay, ma'am.
Okay, ji. So candidates for the second 1B. 1B we were discussing that here reflective commentary, you are talking about the comparison. Comparison, the same thing that not the chunks comparison as a whole, holistic comparison. For example, if you are using descriptive language, why you have used, and if the same descriptive language used in the other text type as well, why or in what format it is different from yours. So you're basically going into the depth of analysis. You're not having tomorrow the simple analysis. Remember this point. Wherever you are, you're having a simple general analysis, forget about it. Go deeper. Go deeper, take your time, give time to this reflective commentary. I know it is for 10 marks only, but try to give 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs, but it should be holistic analysis that you're looking at the as a whole. Then the question 2 text analysis, the same thing there. But it is different from there. Why? Because you have produced something and then you are reflecting on your own thoughts. Here, something is already given and you are analyzing, again analyzing here. That's why 60% to this assessment objective. Here you are analyzing. So it means that you are given only form, structure, and language, the same thing. I ask you not to start with the form, start with the language or the linguistic element. Or if you want to start with a tone, or if you want to start with, for example, what is the audience, who is the audience there, and what kind of tone set by the writer. If you start with this, and if you are having a chronological order, one more thing, you know all the questions. You know questions will not change. When you know this thing, only read what is a text type and what is the task given to you. That's it. Then start reading. And in the first reading, don't waste time. In the first reading, try to highlight or simplify every paragraph according to the given question. Okay. So don't waste time in your first reading. Start doing work in your first reading. And then the second reading comes, it means you're going to have a plan. So they are required to identify characteristic features of the text, relate them to the meaning, context, and audience of the writing, organize information. One more thing. Here, if in your analysis, you're not confident about something, leave that. Forget about it. Don't tell your examiner that you are weak in your analysis. Leave such points. If you are really sure about something, then add those points in your analysis, in your text analysis. If even your 4 paragraphs are strong, go with that. Don't write such unnecessary details which will not get marks from the examiner. I move on with these slides. General advice. Read all the parts of the questions very carefully. This is for question 1A and this is question 1B. Before deciding on your approach, okay, what you're looking at, same thing, who is your target audience? As a registrar, you, Muskan, explained that target audience means who is going to, for whom you're making up this, you're forming this text type. So how are you going to impart meaning to your audience? What style you're going to have? That you are giving this information to this audience, what kind of writing style you will choose. Then what style of writing, okay, here what style of writing means what, if you are conveying some information, or if you're say having some meaning there, means sometime definitely you're reading some article and there is something you want to give your audience to. So what kind of style you are choosing to convey this meaning to the other person? What register the same thing, formality, informality. If you are having an email, for example, they give you an email to write. So what if the email is for the friend, what kind of language you are using? Again, the same thing, you will be informal. If you are writing an email to your professor, definitely your language will be different. Will you use rhetorical devices? What about the overall layout of your finished text? Layout means that is a form. That is a form. Are you using some headings, headlines, paragraphs? Or, this is the graphology. This is what you have added. Have you changed the style while writing? When you are writing your text type, definitely you're talking about the register there, style there. When you are writing a text type, these things you must keep it in mind. If you keep it in mind, these things, then you are having no problem here like this. You cannot make some flaws there, and then you can tell the audience that I'm going to improve that. If you write technically, if you keep these things in mind before writing your text type, then there will be no problem as such this thing. You're only highlighting all the features which you really needed in your reflective commentary. What should I select from my writing to support the points I intend to make? Only write and only choose such thing which should be added, and you are supporting that with the more details. Which features of my writing have achieved my writing aims, and which features of my writing could be improved upon? So this is all which you think about while writing your reflective commentary. Next one is, okay, this is the last slide. Reading and form, how can you achieve these skills? For example, form and styles, again, the whole this document, they're talking about the same thing. So tomorrow, same antennas will be turned on that they are asking you these things. When you are writing a response tomorrow, you must be considering form and style. Style means the writing style, how you're conveying one message to somebody. Read and understand difference in form styles of writing, which may appear in the advertisement, fine. You are just reading. Then second is linguistic elements. These linguistic elements, the same features again as we discussed earlier. Okay, do you understand what is pragmatics? What do you mean by pragmatics? Pragmatics means talking differently in the different situation. It is more or less the same thing. Pragmatics, for example, if you are sitting with the parents, your language, your tone definitely change. And then if you talking with your friends, so it is basically writing or reading or writing or speaking according to the different situations. Pragmatic is this thing. So keep such things in mind while you're reading a text tomorrow. Okay, then comes audience. When you are reading, identify, demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the significance of audience in both the designs and reception of text. For example, who it is written for and whom you are going to write now. So keep audience, write these words when you get the paper tomorrow, write these things on the top that you're looking for the audience, you're looking for the purpose, you're looking for the linguistic, for the language. When you have these things in mind, you definitely, your eyes will be focusing on such things while you're reading the text. Then reading says genre, purpose, context. Identify means these are such skills when you are reading. While you're reading, you have to focus on. Identify, demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the ways in which genre, purpose, and context contribute to the meaning of the text. For example, if you are talking about the purpose, that what purpose that text is written with, and what purpose you will be having when you are writing the new text type, and the context, the background, then meaning. Through these things, what meaning conveyed, in which linguistic elements come together in text to create meaning, and what linguistic elements, for example, have they used nouns a lot? Have they used the adjectives a lot? If they've used adjectives and adverbs, it means it's a descriptive piece. And if they have used figurative language, again, what comes to your mind? Definitely figurative language is used by for the description. So such things will tell you that how the meaning is conveyed. Is it explicitly given or is it implicitly given? So next, analysis. Write analytically about the effects produced by a range of linguistic elements and literary feature. Again, you are having analysis, a broader analysis, deep analysis of these things.